On May 27th, Trump supporter Rick Scott rarely opposed the Merida initiative, while an even bigger shock came as Elon Musk expressed disappointment in the legislation, with some media claiming the bromance between Musk and Trump has ended. Today's episode will delve into the challenges facing the Merida initiative and what exactly Musk said. Meanwhile, the US State Department has suspended all new international student visa interviews and expanded screenings of applicants' social media posts, not just targeting anti-Semitism, but also launching a new crackdown on universities allegedly abetting leftist activism. Before discussing these topics, let's first look at a post by Trump. On the afternoon of May 27th, Trump posted on Truth Social that Canada is considering joining the US as the 51st state in exchange for the free Golden Dome program. The Golden Dome, shortened as Golden, is an advanced missile defense system similar to Israel's Iron Dome, designed to protect US territory from foreign missile attacks. Launched fanfare by Trump on May 20th, the program has been dubbed Star Wars 2.0, a modern twist on the Cold War era strategy to outspend adversaries like the Soviet Union. Trump's post claimed, "Canada desperately wants to be part of our Golden System. As an independent but unequal nation, it would cost them $61 billion. As our 51st state, it's free." He added, "They're considering the proposal." When the US announced Golden last week, it stated the project would cost $175 billion, aim for full operation within 3 years, and include Canada. Trump claimed, "Canada has called us wanting to participate, so we'll negotiate. They want protection too." Canadian Prime Minister Mark Carney confirmed discussions, with his office stating the US and Canada are actively discussing existing and new security initiatives, including Golden. However, the idea of Canada becoming the 51st state faces resistance. On May 6th, after winning re-election, Carney visited the White House, where Trump again raised the 51st state idea, suggesting tariff exemptions. Carney replied, "Canada will never be for sale." On May 27th, Britain's King Charles III, Canada's nominal monarch, visited Ottawa and implicitly rejected Trump's proposal in a parliamentary speech, stating, "What Canadians can offer is far greater than anything any foreign power on this continent could take. By upholding our values, Canada will build new alliances and a new economy for all Canadians." Reactions to Trump's post were mixed. Some users noted the US needs Canada's Arctic early warning systems for Golden, warning that without them, the system would be vulnerable to Russian or Chinese attacks. Others countered that the US already uses space satellites for detection, making Canada's role unnecessary. Many questioned Trump's negotiating art, with one user writing, "This is classic Trump distract with grand proposals while pushing for real goals elsewhere," implying pressure on Carney's Liberal government to secure a new trade deal. With Carney's Liberals winning the election but failing to secure a parliamentary majority unable to form a coalition with other parties, the government is now a lame duck, struggling to pass legislation. Sustained pressure from Trump could force an early election, potentially bringing the Conservative Party to power, which aligns more with Trump's ideology. However, some American users oppose adding a state with a larger population than California, fearing it could cost the GOP votes. Paradoxically, many Chinese Canadians in Alberta Conservative stronghold support a potential separation referendum from Canada. Shifting to the Trump administration's visa crackdown, on May 27th, Secretary of State Marco Rubio signed a cable instructing embassies to hold new student visa interviews FM and J categories and prepare for expanded social media screenings. As obtained by Politico, the cable states, to prepare for enhanced social media vetting, consular officers should not schedule any new student or exchange visitor visa appointments until further notice. Updates will be issued in the coming days. The cable notes that the State Department's upcoming notice will provide further guidance and acknowledge the new requirements. Given the potential significant impact on consular operations and resource allocation, the cable states, consular officers must assess workload and resource needs for each case before scheduling appointments. This move comes during the peak season for international students, who typically receive US university acceptances in spring and must obtain visas before the fall semester. If implemented, the policy could severely delay visa processing, forcing students to postpone enrollments or seek alternatives and threatening universities heavily reliant on foreign students for revenue. Institute of International Education data shows 1.1 million international students studied in the US during 2023 to 2024, comprising one-third of total enrollment, contributing $43.8 billion through tuition, housing, and living costs. While the State Department hasn't explicitly stated its rationale, the social media screenings are likely aimed at blocking terrorists and combating campus anti-Semitism. This follows a Homeland Security request for Harvard's 7,000 international student names and nationalities rebuffed by the university. The new measures may target students who protested Israel's Gaza operations. Trump wrote on Truth Social, "We're still waiting for Harvard's foreign student list to identify how many extremists and troublemakers shouldn't be allowed back after billions in funding." Tensions have escalated between the Trump administration and elite universities like Harvard, accused of coddling anti-Semitism and leftist activism. Last Thursday, DHS revoked Harvard's eligibility to host international students, prompting a lawsuit. Judge Alison Burroughs, an Obama appointee, temporarily blocked the measure. The State Department's enhanced social media vetting now targets problematic applicants at the source, marking a new front in the administration's war on liberal academia. Turning to the Merida Initiative's challenges, on May 27th, Florida Republican Senator Rick Scott, a Trump ally, announced he and other GOP members would oppose the bill. The Merida Initiative is Trump's signature fiscal plan for his second term, aiming to fulfill campaign promises like working-class tax cuts, border security funding, and a Golden Age agenda. The bill seeks $1.5 trillion in spending cuts amid a $36 trillion national debt and a $1.05 trillion 2025 fiscal deficit. The House passed the bill 215 to 214 last Thursday, and it now heads to the Senate, where Trump wants it signed by July 4th. With a 5-3 for 7 GOP majority, the party can afford no more than 3 defections. Known Trump critics Sens, Mitch McConnell Key, Susan Collins Me, and Lisa Murkowski AK are already skeptical. In an interview with Turning Point USA's Charlie Kirk, Scott said he would absolutely vote no, calling passage unlikely. "We all want this bill to succeed," he stated, but Democrats increased spending by 50% in 5 years. While this cuts less than 2% over a decade, it doesn't balance the budget. "We'll fight for real fiscal responsibility. Under Senate rules, any amendments would send the bill back to the House for re-vote." Scott added, "We'll amend it, introduce our own bill, and either pass it through conference committee or send it back to the House where they'll have to pass our version." Adding to Trump's woes, Scott isn't the only Trump supporter opposing the Merida Initiative. Wisconsin Senator Ron Johnson, another GOP ally, warned he'll block the House version unless spending cuts are deeper. "We have the votes to stall this until the president gets serious about deficits," he told CNN on May 26. "I don't care if the president is unhappy. I'm worrying about my grandchildren. We're stealing their future." Citing the $37 trillion debt, Johnson vowed, "I won't vote for this bill in its current form." Kentucky Senator Rand Paul echoed this, refusing to support the bill unless it includes a debt ceiling hike repeal, warning it would explode the deficit. However, House Speaker Mike Johnson defended the Merida Initiative on Fox News Sunday, urging the Senate to pass it with minimal amendments. "Why does this matter? We must deliver relief to Americans and give them time to see this plan keeps our promises. It will help the country and economy," he said, dismissing criticisms that the bill would add $3.8 trillion to the national debt. Claims about debt are overblown. "This is the biggest spending cut in 30 years, maybe ever. We're cutting over $1.5 trillion in federal spending while spurring growth." On Medicaid cuts, Johnson and Trump insisted the bill won't reduce benefits but will root out waste, fraud, and abuse. Notably, Elon Musk, though not a lawmaker, weighed in on the Merida Initiative, potentially influencing voters and senators. During a May 27th CBS Mornings interview ahead of SpaceX's Starship launch, Musk stated, "Frankly, I'm disappointed in this massive spending bill. It doesn't reduce the deficit, it increases it and undermines what the Dodge team is doing." Warning the bill would worsen debt, Musk quipped, "A bill can be big or beautiful, but I don't think it can be both." He criticized federal bureaucracy, saying, "The situation is worse than I realized. Fixing Washington is an uphill battle." Musk also defended moral engineers under media attack, stating, "Morality is being scapegoated for everything." Anti-Trump media seized on his comments, with Daily Mail initially claiming, "Musk's bromance with Trump is officially over." After backlash, the headline was revised to "Musk slams Trump's spending bill, claims DC is scapegoating morality, softening the narrative to their bond is strained." This episode highlights the need for critical media consumption. Don't let sensationalism distort reality. Thanks for watching. See you next time.